This episode, like, I don't want to say that I don't have anything to say about it, but it was, like, episode 11, season 2 of Tales of Zestiria the Cross. I'm going to try not to do, like, a lot of editing in this episode. I mean, in this video. It was, like, obviously, animation was great. The progress was great. The action was great. And the emotional aspect of this episode was fantastic. Like, it was to the point where I didn't expect myself to feel like this, but I choked up a little bit from the ending and Rose and Dezel. I choked up. I didn't, like, tear up or start crying or anything, but there was water filling up in my eyes about to, like, run down. It was very emotional. It was a fantastic episode. It was, to me, in the top 3 episodes of the season so far. And overall, emotional-wise, this episode was the most emotional. It was the best one in terms of emotion from both seasons, season 1 and season 2 for me. And the best part of this episode was more along the lines of the second half. And the first half was alright, it was good, but it didn't have as much impact as the second half of this episode. But the first half, Lord of Calamity is going higher up into the north. For some reason, I thought he was already at the center of the world, but he wasn't. He was just up there gathering more malevolence or something, saying that I will be like, I will disappear into the malevolence up, like, farther up into the north at the center of the world. Simon goes with him. They disappear. And so Sorey and them are going up north, even more up north, and they get to a city called, or a town that's deserted, basically. A town called, let me see here, Merchio, the land of ice and snow. It was a town that was very lively back in the day with Michael, when Michael was, I believe, alive, or like way, way back when. Anyways, they end up there and they see more of the Normans. This little female Norman was there, and I guess she's been living for a long time or something. But they rest up there and they're about to leave. And throughout this whole episode, Dezel is contemplating, like, I need Rose to not, like, be with me when this stuff happens, or when everything, like, goes down. It's just like a whirlwind of, like, him just contemplating on, like, what should I do for Rose, like, this entire episode. And also Sorey tries to think about what went down. You know, he was reading the celestial records and stuff, more stuff about Velvet Crow about 1,000 years ago, what happened to her and her younger brother and stuff. And he also says that she barred so much hatred in her body because because her younger brother was sacrificed. And Sorey is thinking that if she didn't have that hatred, the calamities now wouldn't be happening and stuff. That's true, but he also believes that she is not in the wrong either about what happened because of her younger brother being sacrificed for the good of, like, not having malevolence and stuff by, I believe his name is Arterus or something like that, that was trying to rid the world of malevolence and stuff back then. And I completely understand what she was really going through. Like, of course, if your younger brother was being killed off, or any kind of sibling or anything, being killed off for the greater good just because and stuff, I feel like that I would be, that I would be harboring, like, I might be harboring hate or something like that. And it's a sad thing to really think about. He's saying that she is right, she has every right to feel like that. And Arterus, like, he also kind of is trying to do something for the greater good. So Sorey is like, what is really right? What is really wrong? And then Lila's like, the shepherd's journey is basically the answer and stuff. Very cool stuff, very emotional stuff that's going on. So that's really mostly the first half. Now, the second half of this episode was the best part, because they got to where, or not where the Lord of Calamity is, but they got to where, first off, Sore, when he went to sleep, he had a vision, a dream of Velvet Crow, and she was basically like looking at him and talking to him, saying like, why do birds fly in the sky and stuff? They don't have really a reason. They just do it. Why do they just fly and stuff? Just believe in what you want in life and stuff. And then he woke up and the sky was like red and black and everything. So then they had to get to where the Lord of Calamity is. They get there and there's dragons everywhere. That's all it is, dragons. And so the emotional part was that Dezel was going to go and use the gun that Zahid had to kill off the dragons and everything. And Sore's like, no, this isn't happening. So then Dezel decides to armatize with Rose. That action sequence and everything, animation was beautifully made and everything. Right when they get into the center, you see like a shadow of Dezel kind of like right behind Rose, and right when that happened, I knew what was going to happen, that he was going to sacrifice himself, and said he will become the wind, and he will use like his entire being to do so. And he said thanks for everything to Rose. Oh my gosh, that's when I like teared up and everything. She's like, what are you doing? Don't. Or she didn't say don't or anything. She's saying, what do you mean by that? And so that action, he wiped out all the malevolence of those dragons by himself. Just completely just decimated everything. And Rose is like, Dezel, where are you? And they kind of get into the zone where it's like, not limbo, but he can see her, she can see her, like in some kind of space or dimension or something, and they're looking at each other, and he's saying, you know, thank you. She's saying thank you to him for everything that he's done, and she is crying, she's going to cry, and he's going to cry and saying like, I'm going to die, but thank you. They're both saying thank you to each other, and he leaves. She starts crying. I'm choking up personally. This is like a seriously sad moment, because I really like Dezel, and I like him a lot more after this. He sacrificed himself. He's telling her that to tell Sore to not think that people aren't going to be sacrificed and that it's not his fault, and don't expect people to not be sacrificed when this stuff happens. And that's how it ends, and it was really sad. I felt really sad. Like, oh my gosh, the ending music made it even more emotional with that beautiful emotional music at the end. It was amazing. And that's how the episode ends. And I did not expect it to be that emotional for me, because I don't know. I really usually don't get that emotional when it comes to anime and stuff, but it was a fantastic episode. I give it like a 9 out of 10 because the first half was good, but it wasn't really like anything in there really. So, but the second half was like fantastic and amazing and stuff. So 9 out of 10. That is it for this one. Like the video if you did. Like the video if you liked this episode. Very emotional stuff. I choked up and everything. And comment down below on your thoughts of this episode, your thoughts of what I said. And subscribe to my channel for more reviews, vlogs, unboxings, live reactions, and their discussion videos, and things like that. So, gentlemen, stay classy. Ladies, stay sassy. But most important, everybody, you gotta stay a little nasty, alright? So, peace and love, and I will see you all later with the next video. Thank you, Dezel The Wind.